Welcome everybody to another live with the Collecting Brothers. We're gonna be opening up some more toys like we did last time. We have a package from Entertainment Earth, and we have a couple other packages I think from eBay, maybe from Amazon. Just some random toys we're gonna open. Let's see what's up. All right. Let's get this started. Okay. Here we have our big package from Entertainment Earth. Those two are not part of it. Let's see here. Okay. First off, from the Entertainment Earth package, they sent this thing which I've never seen before. This is very interesting. We'll open that last. I don't know what that is. We'll see. Alright, start us off. We have from Entertainment Earth, I got this. This is the Flash. And this is actually my first page puncher. I've never gotten a page puncher before from Todd. I'm super excited because I actually do enjoy this concept just because there are so many iterations with different costumes of the same character, and it's hard to be familiar with all of them. And so yes, I like the Flash, but I don't know this version of the Flash, and so it's cool to get some source material. I think some source material, to show so that you can get attached to the figure. Let me just fix the camera here. Let's see if you guys can see my face that way. Hopefully this is better. Let's see. Maybe we need to get raised a little bit more. Let's see here. I think I need to raise the camera a little bit. Okay, hopefully that's better. And you guys can see my face and see the toys. Okay. Alright. So before we get to the figure, you get a comic book. And I think that's really... I just like this idea. So let's open that comic book. And with these page punchers, they do run a little bit higher, kind of like as if they came with a bath. I mean, only $25, right? If you got it at retail. But I'm sure you can find it for cheaper. And I've never seen them actually do this where the card is like packaged in a little plastic thing. It's not like in the blister. It's not a blister pack, this is a booster pack. And what do you guys think about these cards? Like, at the beginning, I was like, I didn't really care for them. I was like, great, it's just a random piece of card, and it was just like whatever to me. But as I've collected DC Multiverse over time, I've actually really started to enjoy these cards. Let's see, you still can't see my face. Let's see, is that better? Okay, so yeah, I've just started to enjoy the cards more, and one thing too, it also helps just like if you are an avid collector, I think it helps with just keeping track of your collection, because sometimes, I don't know, there's so many figures going on, there's so many things that you buy. At least for me, sometimes I lose track of what I buy. And so like having these cards, it's like, oh yeah, I bought that figure before, and it's just kind of a reminder, and it's cool to kind of just pick up my stack of DC multiverse cards that I have, and just look and be like, oh, I have this, I have that, I have that, I have that. So I actually do enjoy the collector cards more than I would thought have in the beginning. But I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts about the DC multiverse cards. And they always come with the bio in the back. This one just comes with the comic artwork, which kind of defeats the purpose of what I was telling you, right? Where you can see it, but at least on the back it says the Flash, so I know I have the Flash from this. All right. So taking a look at this comic book, I love this cover. I think this cover art is fantastic with Grodd, Captain Cold, and the Flash, and Heat Wave. I don't know. After the Flash movie, I'm starting to get like, I would like to get more into the Flash. I think he has a good rogues gallery, good villains. So let's see here. And so yeah, it's just a cool source material that you can. It kind of gets you excited for the figure that you have, because you can see him in action. You know a little bit about his story. Now, we will see, because I did get another figure from this wave, so I believe it's the same comic, but I'm not sure. We'll see. So yeah, I do love this page punchers where you get a comic book. I love that idea. Kind of reminds me, like, if you guys can remember when like Marvel Legends Toy Biz back in the day, if you guys have been collecting that long, they used to come with Marvel comics, back in the day. You'd get your figure and you'd get your comic book. John says once he got a card binder, once he got the cards, he wanted to get like a card binder to fill them up, kind of like how people display like their Pokemon collections. Yeah, I feel that. I think that'd be really cool to do, because you can do that for cheap. Yeah, and with this wave, I don't have the Zod, the Gorilla Grodd. I think I said Zod before, actually. Correction, it's Grodd. Yeah, the Gorilla Grodd figure. That figure looks phenomenal. Just because the original Injustice Grodd that we got from McFarlane Toys was small for Grodd, but it was a steal because it was only $20. But it's good to get kind of that $40 massive Gorilla Grodd figure, I think. All right, so let's see. Let's take a look at this Flash figure. This arm seems kind of loose to me. Like, it's not moving when I shake it, but it does hold the pose, so it's nothing too crazy. But I love all the intricate sculpt and detail that's going on. Just like with a lot of McFarlane DC Multiverse figure, you get a lot of suit detail compared to like Marvel Legends, where it's kind of pretty flat. There's just so much texture and lines going on. And then with this Flash design, though, that visor, I don't know, it looks all right. It's not as bad, but one thing that I can tell right away is like with the comic, it's like a translucent, right? It should be a translucent where we can see his face, almost like a biker, right? Or like a futuristic speedrunner. And whereas this one's not translucent, I would have kind of liked to see a translucent piece there. I don't think it would have cost too much more. And I just think it would look a lot better if you could have see his eyes through the translucent piece. Whereas this is just like a flat gold. As for accessories, he just comes with these two lightning effects. So overall, I do enjoy this figure. I think it's good so far. Let me clean it up. All right, next from our... Open the next figure I got from Entertainment Earth. So I got Heat Wave. Let's see here. So this is the only one I got from the other wave, just because the other ones I'm still waiting on. So still need to get Captain Cold and Grodd. Hopefully those go on sale here soon. And there's the back of the box. Includes exclusive comic book. Yeah, I'm really liking these. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the exact same. Yeah, it's the exact same comic. So it's the number one Flash comic for this series. It's the exact same. Which, I don't know. I would say, I think it sucks. I think it sucks. The reason being is because as collectors, we collect. That's the thing we do. You know, we collect sets of figures. You know, if you're an avid collector, most likely you're gonna get the set, right? Sooner or later you're gonna get, or even 2, 3, maybe not all of them, but you're gonna get 2 or 3. I think it. I don't know the logistics of it or how hard it might be due to publishing things, but it would have been cooler like to have Flash have one since he's the main, and then the villain, if you wanted to continue the story, to be like Heatwave 2, Captain Cold 3, Grodd 4. So that way we could read on. And then like I think as a consumer, if I read 4 issues of a comic, I would think I'm more inclined to continue that story, and then maybe go out and buy that comic. Because maybe one comic's not enough to actually get a reader hooked. Especially how thin this comic book is. Like, it's not that much. Like, it's a pretty thin comic. Like it's like maybe like 10 or 12 pages. So I would have liked to see them do that. I think it would have been a better idea. Because, you know, we collect. We're going to get all 4. And so to get 4 different issues, and each issue is tied to that character, I think it's just a missed opportunity. Okay, and as always, you get your DC Multiverse stand. Bajillion of those. Now we have 2 Flash comics. Maybe I can give one away. Yeah, we can do a giveaway and give this sucker away. I'll figure out how to do that because I don't need the same comic, you know. Okay, Heatwave here. So Heatwave, you know, and Captain Cold, they did appear in like Legends of Tomorrow. I did watch some Legends of Tomorrow and some of the CW Flash, you know, the Arrowverse. But to be honest with you guys, I don't know. I just think anything the CW puts out is straight garbage. Believe it or not, it's straight garbage. And I know there's a lot of fans of the Flash, but I gave it a chance. Like I gave it a big chance. Like I watched the whole first season of the Flash, and it was just boring. The CGI is bad. The acting's bad. It's just like, you know, like your low budget everyday TV show. And I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of heat for that because I know how beloved that Flash show is for people, but I just can't do it. I couldn't do it, even with the freaking brothers from Prison Break that came back to portray Captain Cold and Heatwave in Legends of Tomorrow and Flash. Like, that was sick. Honestly, that's the only reason I think I started Legends of Tomorrow, because I was like, all right, I'll check it out for the brothers, for Prison Break brothers. Come on. They were cool in it. I think they had some cool suits in it. But yeah, that whole Arrowverse, thank goodness. I think it's pretty much dead, right? Thank goodness. Yeah, John says, yeah, having different issues in the page punchers would also generate incentive to buy more. Exactly. It would not, like, I was thinking more for like the publisher, for like DC trying to sell more comics, but it would also help McFarlane, you know, sell more toys. It would go both ways. Like, it would just create more DC fans and more hardcore DC fans. John says CW ain't that bad. I'm sorry, guys. I can't do it. I can't do it. And that the crazy thing is too, is I hear from a lot of people that like love the Flash that season 1 of the Flash and the early seasons, season 1 and 2 and 3 are like the best seasons, and it gets worse. And I'm like, it gets worse. That's when I knew. I'm like, okay, I'm just wasting my time here, because if the own fans are saying the earlier seasons are the best seasons and they're not good, I can't imagine what you guys watch at the end. I don't know. The CGI is just too distracting. The acting too distracting. I know you guys can hit me in the comments. I know you guys love that show. Everybody loves, for some reason, that Flash show. Okay, so Heat Wave here has good articulation. Has a butterfly, like a very functional butterfly. Like, look at that range. Huge range on that butterfly. It has this soft plastic tube that connects to his cannon. And overall I like the design, and I like the look of this character. I think it kind of reminds you like a Gears of War suit with kind of the tiny head and the big chest plate. But overall, a solid design and a solid representation of it by Todd. So yeah, like, we're not building anything with it, and like, as collectors, we're just gonna get 4 of the same comic. It's like, I guess the only drawback to this figure is that he has no accessories. I think that's a big negative because he's Heat Wave. I feel like he should come with a fire attachment. I think that's a big missed opportunity, especially these figures are retailing for $25. Yes, you're getting a comic book, but he should still come with a accessory, at least one. Like, just give me a flame effect here, or even a smoke. Well, something. Yeah, it had to be something here, flame effect, because it's Heat Wave. How is he Heat Wave with no heat? Hey, what's up, Miguel? Thanks for joining, man. We're just opening up some toys that I got from Entertainment Earth. And there's actually a surprise gift that Entertainment Earth sent that I've never seen before. So we're going to take a look at that once we finish this Entertainment Earth order. So I ordered a total of 4 figures from Entertainment Earth. And I did it using our coupon code. If you're over at Entertainment Earth, you can get free shipping and 10% off your order, including sell items. And that's what I did for this, right? All these DC Multiverse figures, I'm not sure if they're still in stock. Last I checked, I did see Heat Wave, and Flash, and Static Shock. They were all still in stock. And they're on sale. Like, Static Shock is like $9. But if you use our code, BROTHERS, at checkout, promo code BROTHERS, you get 10% off. So I think I got this Static Shock for like $7. Plus free shipping. So, like, insane deals. And like, I use our own code. It works, guys. Promo code BROTHERS. I'm telling you guys, it hooked me up. So, Static Shock here. Now, do not be confused. There is it's kind of, they're releasing, what is it? What's his name? I think they're releasing a Black Lightning. DC Multiverse, I think, just showed another Black Lightning, I think. Yeah. And it's like it's a separate black character with lightning, kind of. Right? But this Static Shock, I do think it looks good. Like, the costume-wise. But I think there are better costumes that he could have chosen. But it's just cool to get a unique character that we haven't gotten before. So here's Static Shock. This is a nice soft rubber plastic. I like that he went rubber with that because it gets out of the way. Double knees, double elbows. Really good articulation on there. And as for the ab crunch, the ab crunch, it's good enough. It's not great, but it's good enough. And as for the face sculpt, once again, the glasses kind of look flat. I think it would have been cooler if it was a translucent plastic and we could see the eyes. Kind of like how, like, yeah, Marvel Legends does it. As for effects, you get this base. Here's the Static Shock card. Nice, cool artwork. And then you get this cool hexagon base. I think this is really unique, and I love this edition. See, like, this Static Shock figure gets, like, way more accessories, and he's only $20 figure compared to Heatwave, which came with, like, no accessories. Yeah, because Static Shock comes with his, you know, static shock effects that can attach to his arms. And those just attach on really nicely. That was really simple, no stress, and they grip pretty firmly on there. So overall, man, and this thing is sitting on shelves. Like, I think this is a really good figure, and it's sitting right now on shelves. Like I said, you can get this at Entertainment Earth for, it's like $9 right now, but with our code brothers, promo code brothers, you can get 10% off. And to qualify for the free shipping, though, you do need, I think, to spend, I think it's 69 or 59. There's like a threshold, either 59 or 69 to get free shipping. There's Static Shock, guys. I do love this base, though. I love when you get unique bases like that, especially that tied to the character. It adds to Static Shock. That's nice. All right, our last figure from Entertainment Earth. We have the Diamond Select Avatar The Last Airbender Uncle Iroh. And I am clicking this line. I think I have a majority of them. I think I'm missing a couple. But I'm just so glad they made that Blue Spirit. That Blue Spirit is a really cool figure. And that episode, man, that honestly, I think besides the last Agni Kai episode and Tales of Ba Sing Se, Blue Spirit is like the third best episode of the show. Like, for me, it goes Final Agni Kai, where like Azula and Zuko fight, right? That's the best episode. That's got to be the #1 episode. Second, Tales of Ba Sing Se. Second best episode in the series, and then Blue Spirit. All right, here's a look at the packaging. And, you know, I always appreciate Diamond Select for them holding their price point. They have continued to hold their price point. And this is on sale at Entertainment Earth, I believe. Yeah, so this was actually $13 on sale. But with the promo code, 10% off, promo code brothers that I used, it was only 10% off of 13, 11, what is that? $11.70, right? Yeah, so $11.70 for a Diamond Select. You can't go wrong there. And I have collected several of the Avatar lines. I was collecting the DC. No, I'm sorry, not the DC. I was collecting the McFarlane 5-inch line of the Avatar series, and the McFarlane 7-inch line. And of course, there's the scaling issue. Holy crap! That just exploded. Let's see if I can find all the accessories. Of course, there's a scaling issue, right, with the 5-inch and the 7-inch line from McFarlane. But beyond that, there's also, I think, a sculptural issue. I think McFarlane failed with the Avatar figures. Like, I think the proportions were off. Especially the Aang figure. The expression on the Aang figure were so terrible. So that's why I quit collecting the McFarlane Avatar line. One, because the scaling, and also for the proportions. And now I solely just collect the Diamond Select Avatar line. And to me, the Diamond Select Avatar figures are far superior. For one, they're 6-inch. Second, I think they have great likenesses and great sculpt and decent articulation, right? It's not crazy, but it's good enough. So I do hope they continue this line. Like, I would love to get maybe a Kyoshi Warrior. I would love to get, because they haven't gotten like Toph or Firelord Ozai, but I have seen they made those. And I would love to maybe even get like a Fire Nation Aang when he gets like when he grows out his hair a little bit. I think there's a lot they can do. And, you know, just like with them, it's like they take forever to release figures, so who knows that the line's still going on? I think it is. I'm not sure. All right, so you get this sand, and it is with screws. So even if it comes like mine right here, this joint is kind of loose. You can just tighten that with a screwdriver, and it's very strong. It'll turn very strong. So you get a stand. You get this huge horn. And like not only that, like here's another thing. The amount of accessories that you're getting with the Diamond Select in comparison to the McFarlane toys. Even if you got this at retail, right? I think Diamond Selects retail from $27 to $30. Even if you got this at retail versus the McFarlane figure, it's just a far better figure and a far better deal. You get this amazing lightning effect. I feel like, I don't know if the hand would fit, but I would love to try it on to see if it fits on the Zuko Diamond Select figure. That'd be really cool. You get this fireball effect with the punching fist. And then you get an extra set of hands. And of course, it's Uncle Iroh. So you get this nice tea kettle. I really love that accessory, the tea kettle right there. Perfect for Uncle Iroh. And there's a look at 360 of the figure. He has a peg in the back. His head moves a little bit. Arms can go 360. They can bend a tiny amount. That's the nature of the body of like the cloak. He does have no ab crunch. Legs can kick out some. Legs can kick out because there's some cuts in the fabric here. And he does have double knee. Now, this is soft plastic, but it's not that soft. Like it's kind of hard, but you can kick it back, right? And it will hold. Hinge and swivel at the ankle. And the likeness, I think, is okay. I think there is better likenesses within the Diamond Select line. I think this is one of the weaker likenesses. But I think that's just the nature of bringing a 2D to a 3D interpretation. So overall, I think it's a good likeness. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Something I think is a little bit off. Like it looks maybe a little too smooth. Like there should be maybe some paint wrinkles. Maybe it's lacking paint. Maybe it's not the sculpt. I think maybe it's just lacking some shadows for paint. All right. I think he came with another accessory, honestly, but I think it flew. I'll have to find that later. But yeah, tons of accessories from Uncle Iroh. Okay, so those were the 4 figures that I received from Entertainment Earth. And then they included this really cool free gift. They've never done this before. I have received, like, Entertainment Earth catalogs. And sometimes those come with, like, coupons for your next order. But I've never received something like this. So I'm excited to see what this is. Your free gift from Entertainment Earth. It says, Super Video Game Brothers. Action stage dioramas by Entertainment Earth. Adds excitement to your action figure displays. Share what you collect at Entertainment Earth with this diorama. Post your pictures or videos on Facebook or Instagram using hashtag #iCollectAtEE. So this is cool, guys. This is a little diorama that you can kind of use for your action figures. And like I said, this was just a free gift. So there's just a tab there. And this is the Super Video Game Brothers diorama. And so it's just a piece of paper, right? But still, I think a cool little backdrop that you can use for your figures. So we can put Static Shock in there. Let's see if it goes down. I don't know. What do you guys think? Could you take some cool pictures in there? I think, like, if you had... Like, I have a Mario figure. Like, the Mario SH figure arts, I think would look cool in there. Or the Yoshi. Or even, like, what about this? What about if we put Kid Icarus? Pit! If we put Pit in there. Who's your guys' main in Smash Bros? Comment your main in Smash Bros in the comments. Tell me in the chat. My main is Kirby. I know people hate playing against Kirby, but I just like Kirby because he can jump like 7 or 9 times and he
you can't kill him. But my second main is Pit. I'm also a Pit main. I love his like spinning when he spins his sword and he goes, "Hi, yeah, yeah, yeah." So Pit and Kirby are my mains. But yeah, definitely this is really cool to put your Nintendo figures with. I hope they continue this and just like put in more of these dioramas with your orders. Like I said, this was free. This was just a nice addition. And I like that they have that hashtag that you can do, which is hashtag I collect at EE. Kind of, it helps build the community and helps see what other people are buying and how they can post their photos. Miguel says his main is also Kirby. Nice, man. Yeah, dude, Kirby, he's OP. He can suck any character and then he gets their power. And has a million jumps. He's OP. Alright, so thanks for Entertainment Earth for that. Good stuff there. And like I said, you guys can use the promo code BROTHERS to get 10% off. Alright. I do not know what this is. I'm not even sure what it's from. Oh, okay. So this is actually from Spiro Toys. If you guys don't know about Spiro Toys, they are an independent toy company. I backed their Kickstarter, but you could also buy their toys now. This is their Animal Wars: The Kingdom line. Now, I don't like being negative, but I was an original Kickstarter backer, and they forgot 2 pieces of my order, and I basically backed, I think, the entire like all 2 waves, just missing 1 figure. Like I didn't order 1 figure, Blight. And so I was able to contact them. They took forever to respond, and they are a new toy company, so it's kind of understandable because maybe they don't have the workforce or the number of people working there. Because it seemed like to me, like Jason, the creator of this line, was posting like he was working like tons of hours, trying to get everybody's orders packed, and so like, I think that could be a reason. Why? Like maybe he was just fatigued, and because he's fatigued, errors are going to be made. And so not only did they forget 2 figures in my order when I contacted them, they kind of like left me on red, and they were like, we'll get to it. We'll address your issue as soon as you can. They just sent me that email. Like weeks went by, and nothing came. No follow-up email, no figure, no nothing. So I emailed them once again and was like, hey, I'm still missing those 2 items from my figure, and like I'm seeing other I'm seeing what I think what made me angry was that I was seeing collectors order off of their website, right? Like directly from their website. And they receive their figures. Like they're saying, I just ordered these off spirittoys.com, and they receive their figures. And me, as a original Kickstarter backer, to not get my figures, like, because I didn't order a double of Cordoon, right? I didn't order a double him. Like I was still waiting on this guy. And for me as original Kickstarter backer to not have the figure, and for other collectors to have the figure before me who just bought it, I don't know. That just, like Peter Griffin says, that really grinds my gears. And so I didn't like the response time. And then, like I said, that is probably just because they don't have enough people, but I think he should start. I don't know. Maybe they can't afford it, but they should start hiring more people or doing a better job to keeping track of their orders so that mistakes like this don't happen. And yeah, it just didn't make sense to me that some people that ordered it on this online shop got their figures before an original Kickstarter backer. So, all right, enough with that. So this is the box. I do like the boxes. So this is actually the Legion build. Well, yeah, they're like the army builders, the Legion builders of the line. They are at a way cheaper price. But because of that, they have like little paint. This is the Chunari. I think it's the Chunari. Yeah, the Chunari infantry. So I got a couple of these. just because they were a cheaper price point. They have basically no armor, just the skirt piece and the satchel. And some of them don't even come with this satchel. They just come with the skirt piece. But there's like no wash or no paint. I think these retail for like $25. So pretty good price. And on Kickstarter, I think they're only like 20, 21, 22, something like that. But yeah, besides, I think the logistical side and their customer service, which was terrible in my opinion, they do make a great product. I'm very happy and satisfied with these figures. I'm glad I backed the Kickstarter because these are great figures. We just go over the articulation. It has butterflies, double elbows, double knees, crazy ab crunch. Like, look at that. All the way down. Basically 90 on an ab crunch. Look how far back. So one area where these guys shine is the articulation is phenomenal on these figures. The plastic too is, I think, of a high quality. It seems very durable. Like, it seems like I can play with it and not break with it. It also seems like if I bang it or scratch it or if it falls, it's not going to break or scratch. Because while it is a hard plastic, like it is an ABS plastic, I think, but it's like infused with like 10% of this rubbery plastic. I would say it's not as rubbery as a Legend, because sometimes Legends are kind of gummy. It's like a really good, I think, in between of where it's hard plastic, but there is some flex to it so that if it falls, it's not going to break very easily. And I do appreciate that. I wonder how long that took, to get to a point where they felt like this is going to be a figure that can hold its pose, but if it tumbles and if you're playing with it kind of crazily with it, it's not going to break. So that's one good positive. And for accessories, even though he is just an army builder, he comes with 2 sets of hands. So some fists and then some open hands. And he doesn't come with any weapons. I think maybe just like one sword would have been nice, but no weapons. It doesn't bug me too much because we got tons of swords, we got tons of weapons. All right, so there's that Chunari Legionnaire. Next up, let's see. All right. So we have a order from Target. This is from McFarlane. And I'm really excited. So this is actually a Spawn figure, but it has something really special inside. So this is the gold label exclusive Ninja Spawn autograph edition by Todd McFarlane. It's 1 of 1,000 edition. And it is a gold label edition, so it does have a different head sculpt and a few differences between the mass release Ninja Spawn figure. There we go. 1 of 1,000. This is exclusive to Target. I believe. Yes, I'm 100% sure. It's retailing for $50. And so, I don't know. You guys tell me what you guys think. You are getting a figure, but you're getting a authentic, real-life autograph from Todd McFarlane. So, that's pretty dope. I'm pretty sure, right? It is. It's got to be. Right? There we go. So So you get your stand, your Spawn stand. You get this nice, necro effect background. And I'm really excited that I think Spawn's trying, like Todd's trying to make a new Spawn movie, which would be really cool. I'd love for like there to be more media with Spawn. Be careful not to damage the paint. See, this is what I was saying in the previous video, where in my previous live, I talked about how I'm going to miss plastic-less packaging. In a way, right? Overall, I think it's the right choice, but see how long it takes me to cut all those ties. Sometimes it gets annoying. So there's the back of the box. You get a nice artwork. You get the gold label and the 1000 edition. And here is the Ninja Spawn figure. I think great paint, great sculpt. Like, I don't know. I think the amount of detail Todd puts in his figures, the amount of new sculpt, I just don't know how he does it, and he keeps his price points so low still, right? Unlike Hasbro or other companies, where their prices we've seen like increase, like Hot Toys has increased, Mezco's increased, Hasbro's increased. But McFarlane Toys, for them to put out this quality of product and still keep their prices, I just don't know how he does it. All right, for his accessories, you get this card stand with Spawn logo. You get these Spawn nunchucks with the chains that are like, Spawn style. Like the spikes just are reminiscent of Spawn. And then you get these kind of ninja swords. These are like what Cabal uses for Mortal Kombat. That's what I think of them when I see them. And then where that $50 price point is coming, right? Because this, is only worth $20 or $25, right? But you're paying that $25 extra for this Spawn card with a authentic, certified, actual marker, Sharpie, whatever you used, Todd McFarlane signature. Like, how iconic is that? Like, when you see that, you can just recognize, oh, that's Todd McFarlane, right? He just has such a unique signature. This is so cool, I think. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. Like, when you see it, you can see, it's not like a printed, you can see the actual marker strokes that Todd himself, the man, made. And for him to do that, like, you could see the marker. So he did this 1,000 times. He had to sign 1,000 cards, and each one came with, one of these figures that is exclusive to Target. And then you get this figure stand, this card stand, but I'm not gonna put it in this stand because I don't want to hurt it. I'm gonna sleeve this up, and frame this sucker. There's another look at it. It says, during the Sengoku period of Japan's storied history, an assassin in the service of the Ashikaga shogunate was slain during a failed assassination attempt. He returned 1 year later as a ninja Spawn. His brother, a Buddhist monk, was able to separate his brother from the Oni and trap the demon in a sword. That sword has been passed down through the family for over 500 years. The Hell Spawn trapped in the sword now has a new host. Yeah, John says think about the other figures he's doing with the autograph. Because, yeah, this isn't the only Todd McFarlane signed edition. Like, he's done several of these now. So he's just signing away. For him to do that, and, like, I got it on, believe it or not, I got it on sale at Target. I did not pay $50, but even if you paid $50, $25 for a signature, it's not that bad. I don't think it's that bad. Because, you know, like when you go to cons, sometimes the celebrities are like charging like $50-$60 for a signature. And, you know, for him to do that for 1,000 edition, that's crazy, man. Todd's going crazy. Let's put in his Cabal. His Cabal. Thanks. Yeah, because he did it with like one of the Batmans. He did it with like a blue Batman, I remember. I can't remember anyone else. Can you guys remember any other edition that he did? But I know for a fact he did it with a Batman figure. And I don't know, when I first bought it, I was like, does it really come with a Todd McFarlane signature? I didn't believe it until I just saw it. I'm like, okay, that's real. That's a marker, right? And it's like, you can tell an assistant didn't do it right. Like, I don't know. It's him. Because I've seen it when he signs a lot of things. You know, I've seen him sign that. That's exactly how he signs. But watch it be like he just got like a highly trained assistant to do it. That'd be hilarious. But no, Todd's too good of a guy. He would not do that. Todd loves his fans. And there he is with his swords. I really enjoy this figure. I will say though, the mass release Ninja Spawn, I kind of like that head sculpt better than the gold label head sculpt. This head sculpt is good, but I think the mass release, I prefer the mass release head sculpt. So, but yeah, that's just a preference. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, we have this Power Rangers figure in Space Phantom Ranger. John, the other collecting brother, actually found this for me at Ross on sale for only $7. So $7 for a Hasbro figure. Holy crap. And like I said in the last live, if it's from Hasbro and around $10, I don't care what it is, I'll buy it. So in Space Phantom Ranger. All right, so here's the In Space Phantom Ranger. Let's check out his articulation. Elbows can go that far. Double. Yeah, it's double. Let's see. Double knees can go that far. And, you know, just your standard Hasbro. Like, it has not really a butterfly, barely any, but it, full 360. Wrists have hinge and swivel at the peg. Legs can kick out. Ankle rocker, hinge and swivel at the ankle. Head articulation can go left to right, but not much up and down. As for accessories, he's going to come with 2 fisted hands. And one thing I've noticed with these, which is kind of weird, the Lightning collection by Hasbro has really thin pegs, I feel like, compared to any other line that Hasbro does. Very thin and very long. I'm not sure what caused that decision or which is better or worse, because I haven't really had any issues with figures that come with, you know, the thicker, stubbier pegs versus the Lightning collection's longer, thinner pegs. It's just something I noticed that, like, the G.I. Joe figures and the Marvel Legends and the not the Jazzwares, the Fortnite figures, every other line has very thick and stubby pegs compared to the Lightning collection. So I'm not sure if that makes it better or worse. He does come with this pistol. It has nice silver and gold paint apps. They are metallic, so I do appreciate the metallic paint. I think it looks great, this gun. And he comes with 2 effects pieces. This effects piece clips onto his chest, and it works as a blast effect, so it just clips on nice and easy. And boom, you can have like a ranger battling him, maybe kicking him or shooting him with their blaster. And then this red effect piece actually clips onto the front of the gun via a peg, and it can work that way. See, that's what I'm saying with the Heat Wave. The Heat Wave should at least come with something like that, right? I do like the overall sculpt of this figure. Even if you're not like a fan of the Phantom Ranger from the Lightning collection, I think this is could work. Maybe I'm gonna use it as maybe like a custom Star Wars figure. Maybe just remove the helmet and maybe add an alien head or something of that nature. All right, but yeah, for $7, guys, what the heck? What a steal! What a find by John. All right, and then something I like to do at the end of the lives is we're gonna go over all of the action figures that we open, and we're gonna eliminate one by one until we get a winner for tonight. But something I will do is I will factor in an account that this figure did retail for, I think, $20-$25. I'm not gonna be like, oh, because this figure was $7, it's so amazing that it wins. No, it's gonna be like what they retail for. I'm accounting that in, and it's what they retail for what you get, right? Not the sale prices that I get. All right, another find by the big bro John. This is the G.I. Joe Classified Series Outback. Now, this is not the... there was a Target exclusive Outback that came out first, and then they mass released it with just like a different shirt and a different skin deco. And I do think... I don't know, what do you guys think about this strategy? I do actually think this strategy works where they come out with an exclusive of a figure, of a character, and then mass release it after. Where usually I feel like other lines, they will, first do their mass release of the character, and then they will do a exclusive variant. But this way, I think, in my opinion, I think it sells better. The reason being that people will buy the exclusive just because there's no other iteration of that figure. And then when the mass release comes out, mass releases usually, not always, but for the most part, will eventually go on sale, right? And then they're like, it's on sale. And then they end up getting both. Where maybe before, a collector would just get the mass release, and when the exclusive came out, they're like, oh, I don't need the exclusive. And like, exclusives rarely go on sale, right? And so a lot of collectors might pass on the exclusive because they already have an iteration of that character. I do think it's a smart marketing move by the G.I. Joe team. I do think it sells better that way. So John found this at Target for me for 50% off. So it was only $12.50. And look at that beautiful Vincent Van Gogh oil pastel artwork. I like that they did like an oil pastel or the oil painting, kind of like what Vincent used to paint for this portrait. I think that's really funny. I don't know if it's intentional, but that looks like Vincent to me. All right. And then with this, I always like this experience where you get like this little kind of like Apex or Fortnite loot box. And then all the accessories are inside. And then you get this nice Cobra Joe logo bag. John said he got Mad Max Road Warrior Custom. Which Mad? What are you talking about? What Mad Max Road Warrior Custom? What, the Fortnite Jazzware figure? That one? That one's Mad Max. All right, so there is our Outback figure. And I think a really good 3D printed face sculpt. Oh, the Ranger. You're going to make a Mad Max out of this? Yeah, you could. You could fudge it. You could fudge it. And always with Joe's, you get a crap ton of accessories. So you're going to get this massive backpack, a pistol, a hunting knife, and I'm actually not sure what this is. Is this like a kind of like a binocular, like an angular binocular? I'm not sure what the heck that is, actually. Then you get a little compact shovel, a functional clip to clip inside his main weapon. I always love the functional clips. I think it's something that they adopted from like imports, and to see that in a mass wide release cheap line like that, I think that's amazing. So he just comes with a basic white tee, survival. He's got ginger hair, headband. It's just like your typical macho man, camo pants. But always a fun thing to do with the Joes is to see if you can. You should. I've never had a Joe that couldn't, but try to put everything on your Joe figure so that there is no figure storage. The figure storage is the figure. So backpack goes there. Pistol goes in there. Knife goes in boot. And shovel. I think maybe this goes here. Yeah, that goes there because the shovel actually has a peg. So the shovel pegs on the side of his backpack right there. Looking good. And then, this is just a little QC issue, but my gun is warped. And I think, that's, I think, another negative that's not talked about much with the plastic-less packaging and with all the accessories coming up like this. It did make me worried for, like, extra head portraits, but they always individually wrap them. Or maybe paint, because everything's in there jumbling up, maybe paint could get scratched. But also, then I think accessories are more prone to warpage. Like, this gun is curved, right? Whereas if it was in a plastic tray... Oh, John says it's a flashlight? A curved flashlight? Okay. Yeah, I was like, what the heck is that? I thought I thought it was like when you're in the water and you put it above, like kind of like so you can see above the water. Nobody's gonna see you. But yeah, like I was saying, with the plasticless packaging, warpage I think is more prone to happen, just like here, because it's not in a tray, right? It's not in a tray that's gonna keep its form. So yeah, and like I was describing with I think their marketing tactic, I was kind of in that boat, right? I got the Target exclusive Tiger Force Outback, which came out first. And then when John hit me up and was like, hey, this Outback is here for only $12, I was like, I already have an Outback, but this is technically a different version of Outback, so it's only $12, so who cares? So that's where I think the tactic works, I think, for maybe collectors to buy multiples of the same character, even though they might not be that attached to that property. So there he is, fully decked out. We'll get a 360 here. I think it's a really good figure. It has all the articulation you need: ab crunch, butterfly, double elbows, double joints. And my favorite part about this figure, is the red hair on the forearm. I think that's such a cool detail. Like, there's like red paint, like red lines and paint on the forearm to show like his hair. Okay, there's Outback. All right, let's see what's next. So this is a package from eBay. Oh, whoa. I bought this used on eBay, so it has no packaging. But this is from the same line as the Chunari Warrior that we opened up. This is the Animal Wars: The Kingdom. And this is their big boy, General Thane. He's like this big, massive gorilla. And this is actually an eBay seller that I've purchased from many, many times. Like, look at the care. Like, he even sent a little plastic bag with the name on it, with all the accessories in, wrapped in bubble wrap, came in a box. This is a seller that I saved, and I recommend you do that. Like if you have a good experience with an eBay seller that sells loose action figures, like I'm not sure, I don't think it's like his business, but every now and then he'll just post a couple of loose action figures that he has, and he sells them for really good prices, and it's almost just like trading with the community. So this is a seller I know, and I've actually never, I did not get this figure, so I'm glad I was able to find it for loose. And the crazy thing is this figure, I believe on the Kickstarter was $45, and I think you can still get this figure now for 50 or 55, but I was able to get this for only $40 on eBay. So let's just look at his articulation. Man, dude, this guy's a piece of chunk. He's huge. So he has, his arms can go all the way up, full 360, right? And it has like nice, like it feels nice. Like when I move that arm, it's not too hard to move, but the divots feel strong. Like I said, like I just feel like he took a lot of time into engineering how the plastic, the tenacity of the plastic, to make sure that it's not breakable, not fragile, but it's still gonna hold its pose and be playable. The paint, it's very nice. It has this shiny metallic-y blue-red paint on the figure. Gold on the buckle, some white on the chest. No, sorry, not the white. Gray on the chest, gray on the hands, gray on the feet. Now this shoulder will affect articulation a little bit, but it's like 5%. You get 5% more on this side, so it's not much. You get this asymmetrical armor on both sides, which I think is a nice look. Ab crunch, because he is a monkey, he's a gorilla, right? Can go that far down and that far back, so you could get him like pretty much straight up. That's him straight, or you can get him like hunched over. The skirt piece, let's see how much the skirt piece moves out of the way. So his legs can go that far out. Pretty good stance, I think. He can not kick very far back. Legs can go that far back. There is a hinge at the knee. Ankles have rocker, but it moves slightly, not too much. Ankles can go back and forward. But this is a big, nice figure. Here's a comparison to just like their regular body figure, right? This is just their regular 6-inch figure versus their big buck. And they are reusing this mold. I did see they were at PowerCon recently. Spiro Toys was at PowerCon, and they kind of unveiled their fourth wave, actually, because the third wave is actually already up for pre-order on their site, but they just kind of showed fully painted prototypes at PowerCon of their fourth wave. And in the third wave, there is going to be a repaint of General Thane, and it's like a gray monkey. And then even at PowerCon, there was an exclusive of this same mold, but it was more orange, and it was a tribute to Beastman from He-Man. So he's doing like a Beastman tribute from He-Man. So there's General Thane. And for accessories, we can't forget the accessories. General Thane, it comes with this massive hammer. And it was really cool because I actually saw they made this hammer 1-to-1 scale. 1-to-1 scale. And at PowerCon, they had it at their booth, and you could go take a picture of it. And a lot of people posted. I saw Robo took a picture with it. Some of the 4 horsemen like Corn Boy took a picture with it, and I think Toy Bro, a lot of of our community and creators were at the Spirit Toys booth, and they were posting pictures with this hammer. Next up, he has a alt head with no helmet on, and it's got this nice smirk on it. So there's that. We could pop that off. And that popped off really nicely. Like, not much forced. Like I said, man, the plastic is really nice. Because, sometimes toys, it can be a pain to switch out. accessories, hands, heads. Like, it can be a pain. Like, I don't want for a figure that requires me to heat up for it to play with or swap out parts, right? Like, I want a figure that is gonna hold its shape and it's gonna hold its position, but that is not insanely hard to swap out pieces. And this line checks both those boxes. Here he is with his alternate head. And then he comes with 3 extra hands. This open splayed out hand, his hammer wielding hand, and a closed fist hand. So let's put that hammer inside. So the other hammer wielding hand is so that you can do a 2, if you wanted, you could do a 2 hand grip stance with him. I'm just gonna do the single. Let's see if we can get this in there. There we go. So yeah, it comes with a nice big hammer club. Overall, I like this figure. I think this is a great figure. I love big boys, so anytime there's a big chunk of a figure like this, it's really cool to get. And it's a giant gorilla. Okay, let's see what else we got. Next up, we have something from Target. This is the Alpha Predator by NECA Special Edition 100th Predator figure. So, I know some story behind this figure. So, this is the 100th Predator figure produced by NECA. Of course, this is kind of... this figure has been out for quite some time now. So, there has been more than 100 Predator figures now. But this was the 100th Predator figure. It's kind of crazy to think about that. They've made over 100 Predator figures. And like, what is there, 5 or 6 movies? So pretty insane to think about. But as I've seen interviews with NECA, they've always talked about how Predator and Alien has been their best-selling toys. Like Predator and Alien, I think that NECA owes a lot to. It's kind of like they themselves said like it's kind of carried their sales. And so this is just kind of an appreciation figure to that. So there's the back of the box. There's the Alpha Predator, and there's some artwork of the Alpha Predator. Let's open this guy up. And of course you get the Velcro strap where you can see the figure, display him with the picture on the side. All right. Can you believe that? There's got to be someone out there, right, that has all 100 Predator figures. They got to make a video on their collection. All right, so this is interesting. Oh, this is so cool. Oh, this is awesome. So you get a nice artwork that is unfoldable, and it's a good size, right? It's a good size poster. But look at this. On the back, the picture and title of all 100 NECA Predators released. How cool is that? Oh, I think that's phenomenal from a collector's standpoint, from just a toy history standpoint, to get a printout of all 100 Predators. I think that's really cool. Wow. Just to see all 100 Predator figures, right? And so they're counting like also Dutch figures, right? So it's Predators plus Dutch. 100 Predator figures, wow. Crazy. Okay, guys, let's hope this figure doesn't break on me. And then you get like this little story card of the Alpha Predator. Now, I remember I was really excited when NECA announced this figure a while back, because what they said, what it was, is this Predator rendition did not appear in a Predator movie. This Predator is actually based off the original concept art that was unused for the first Predator movie. And at the time, um, the director and kind of the artists were thinking that the Predator was going to be more of an insect type alien. That common trope of just that hive mind, that that alien type that alien type bug type creature, right? And so to celebrate 100 figures of Predator, they decided to do that concept art of this Predator that was unused, which I think is really cool, not just because of the history behind it, but I think it's a really great design. Even though it was unused, I love this design. So it's got this white paint, but it also has this blue pink oversprays over it, and it's iridescent. So it has very nice paint. Like the skin and the face and the hair is iridescent. I'm not sure if it's showing, but it has this very iridescent glow like to it. And as for accessories, we are getting 2 sets of hands. So you're getting an open grip and a fist. And then the other side, fist and open grip. So 2 sets of hands there. You're getting this like wooden spike, could be like a throwing star, like a shuriken, I'm not sure. You're getting this tooth blade. It has a grip. Then you're getting this animalistic type horn, hook, or scythe. And it kind of makes sense, right? Because they were wanting to make it so that his weapons were trophies. So that seems like it was always part of the Predator, even with this concept artwork, right? Because they're all made of animal parts. And then you have this nice spear that has this really cool spine of some sort of creature or animal spiraling down, plus another claw or tooth there. And then these giant mandibles. These giant mandibles that make the head of the spear and the jagged edge. It's kind of like it reminds me of like an Aztec weapon where they would have like those jagged edges. And it's all highly detailed, tons of paint, tons of washes, just what you expect from NECA. John says Jean-Claude Van Damme was going to be the guy in the OG suit. Are you serious? He's big enough, right? He's a big dude, so that makes sense. And what really drew me to this figure, even when I saw it get announced and they talked about kind of the history of it, was the mask. So just look at that. It's supposed to be more like a bug, right? They wanted to be more insect-like. And I think that's a really good look. They didn't use it, of course, in the movie, but I think it's a good look. And then he's just littered with like his chest plate. His chest plate is like a rib cage of another animal. He has a skull plus parts of spines all over his arms and forearms. And then his blade, instead of it being a like metal, it's like a lower mandible with huge 2 teeth at the bottom. So this look, and looking at his weapon, it was less futuristic, right? You can see he has way less technology, and even his skirt piece is fur. And all of his armor is very naturalistic. It's all bone, all pieces that he's put together. There's not much futuristic going on with this design, which is a kind of a cool outlook on the Predator, right? Like you could, in like your headcanon, you could say this is like a pre-Predator, like an ancient Predator before they had all the technology, but they were still doing kind of their tribalistic games, and that kind of just kept with their culture for millions of years until they got their futuristic weapons and their mass technology, right? Yeah. John says it makes him decide for the feral predator from prey. Exactly, right? Like this guy looks like kind of like how they did like natives versus predator. This is like a native predator, right? This design is like an ancient predator. even though it's not like canon, right? It's not real. It's just concept art. It's just like really cool to see a different take on the Predator. And even on the back, the hair you can see has way more detail that's hidden by the dreads, more bones, more teeth. So this has got to be one of my favorite figures, even though it's like not any from any movie. I just think it has a really nice design. All right, guys. Let's see how many more figures we can open. I have one more, but I think I can scrounge up some more. All right. Let's see here. Okay. So this figure I got from a local comic book shop called the Nerd Store in Utah. This is a local comic book shop, and they were having a sale. So I got this Mezco figure from my local comic book shop for only $40, which is a good price for Mezcos, right? Mezcos retail no lower than 80, and sometimes range from up into 120 range, depending on the soft goods and the amount of accessories you get. So, this is the Mezco Catwoman. All right, we'll dump out all the accessories here. All right, as Mezco always has some nice packaging, so here we can look at the packaging. Just got like a purple cat on the side. On the back, pretty promotional images with all the accessories you get and maybe some pose ideas. Okay, so as for accessories, I love that Mezco does this. They come with a poly bag that you could write the name and keep yourself organized. Because, you know, like I think that's a big thing when you collect a lot of figures. You want to be organized, and this just makes it easier for you because you don't need to get your own bags. And these are like high quality, thick Ziploc bags. So I do appreciate that they do that, and also Figma does that. Comes with silica gel packet because it is fabric and there is like some leathery parts, so we don't want it to get dried out and crack. Comes with this big Mezco stand. In my opinion, I believe the Mezco stands are the best stands. Like NECA, Figuarts, Figma, whatever company, any company you can think of, in my personal opinion, from my experience, Mezco stands are the strongest stands that you can get. So yeah, it just says Catwoman on the bottom, and then you can peg this flight stand on it right there. All right, as for the Catwoman figure, so it is a fabric, like it's like a tightly knitted fabric, right? But it's not pleather, but there's like a shine to it. So I don't have fears of it degrading, but I don't know how they did it. It's like it's shiny, but it's not pleather. It's a fabric, which I think is really good because it's a fully covered suit, right? Like everything's covered except the hands, which are hard plastic, and up into the boots, but everything else is covered in fabric. As for accessories, she comes with this backpack. This comes separate. You have to attach it on there. The reason why, and also the goggles come separate. You have to attach those on there. So the translucent goggles, you're able to put these on all three heads, right? The reason why the backpack and goggles were already on my copy was because this was actually in their display, in my comic books display shelf, and so this was the one they had on display. So it's like not used but kind of used, right? Because it was on display the whole time, but like nobody was playing with it. It was just standing in the display shelf. So it was the last one they had. They actually thought they had another one in the back, but when they checked, they had nothing. So they're like, we'll just sell you the one in the display shelf. So yeah, I definitely like the goggles that you could, display them up on Selena Kyle or over her face. And it creates multiple looks because with her alternate heads, right? You get this angry, growling face. You get multiple looks because you can put the goggles on there. Or you could even put the goggles on the unmasked head, right? You get this short head. I can show you how that unmasked head looks. John says Hasbro got the best stand. No, he said JK. Do you guys remember? You guys remember in the Black Series, there was like, they started to do stands. Like Star Wars The Black Series, I think it was like for 5 or 6 figures. They randomly started to do these like triangle stands that came with, it wasn't a peg to hold it, but it was these 2 plastic covers that you would slip in the foot. I actually really like those stands. I thought they were great because it wasn't held down by a peg, and I felt that they held the figure really well because it was using a different force, because it was using the weight of the figure on there, because it was like these 2 plastic clips instead of a peg. And they only did it for like a few figures. Like I know like the exclusive like Luke from Walgreens, and the exclusive like a lot of Walgreens exclusive came with those. They were like these triangle stands, clear plastic, and they said Star Wars. Johnson's called foot cap. Okay, they're called foot cap. Yeah, Black Series was doing that, and then they just stopped. I wish they would have kept doing those. It probably was like a cost. They probably got yelled at by the bosses and were like, hey, that's too much value. That's too much value. Take that out. And then she comes with this whip. It is a rubbery. Sad that it's not a bendy wire. I think Mezco had a missed opportunity here where the handle should have been a hard plastic, and this should have been a bendy wire so we could pose it. Whereas it's just a rubber piece. When you display, it's gonna display like wah, 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 right? You're not gonna get good action display poses with this. So very bad, especially from an $80 Mezco figure to not do a bendy wire whip. Not good. Not good. And then she comes with a pair of fisted hands, and then a gripping hand, and then a like kitty claw hand. So not too many accessories, but this is a older Mezco figure. And I remember before I bought this figure, I was looking into it. A lot of people were complaining because it's such an expensive figure, because it's a high-end figure, that the elbows are single jointed. And the knees are single jointed. So yes, it's a female figure, but that shouldn't be an excuse for Mezco to do single jointed legs and elbows on an $80 figure. I agree with the rest of the community where they said like this figure's kind of a ripoff. Like if you bought it for $80, this is not an $80 figure. The whip is not bendy wire. It doesn't come with that many accessories, right? Just like a stand, 2 heads, and 4 hands. I mean, and the crazy thing is they took off the little backpack and little pouch and goggles in the box as accessories, but it's like, yes, you could count those as accessories, but they're integral to the to the costume of the character, so they're not that. To me, I consider them like half accessories. They're not like full on accessories, right? So yeah, for them to only do single and elbows and knees, bad Mezco, bad. Okay, so highlights though with this figure, I do love the goggle system that you can have it on her neck, above her eyes, over her eyes. I do love that they did not go pleather for the suit. Instead, they went with a fabric, but sprayed it with some sort of spray that makes it shine and look like leather. Like it looks like leather from a distance and even close, but it's not. I think that's one big highlight. And the next big highlight is she comes with like this like lock picking accessory on her belt, and it's open. You can open it up, and it has let me see if you guys can see it. It has like some like needles and like clippers and just like some files and like a lot of metal like intricate detail in there. I think that's phenomenal and amazing. That's one highlight of this figure. But overall, is she worth $80? Probably not. Was she worth 40? I guess. Okay. We opened quite a bit today. I'm gonna open one more figure, and then we're gonna do our big countdown to find out which figure was the best figure of tonight. So stay tuned. We have one more figure to open, and then we're gonna do our best figure of the night. All right, so the last figure we're gonna open today is a Figma. This is from Max Factory by Figma. And Figma is probably, I don't know if it's my favorite company, but it's up there, right? It's one of my favorite toy companies to have, just for the quality of figure that they produce. Yes, they are a little bit pricey, but I think the value's there for these figures. I prefer them even over Figure Arts, right? Figure Arts are definitely a little bit cheaper, so that makes sense that the quality is a little bit less. But pay the extra bucks and get a Figma. Yeah, I'll do it. So this is Kumano Kai 2. There's a look at the box. Nice pink color. And this is Figma 409. And so Figmas, they do majority anime figures. They do some figures that are not anime. Like they did Homelander. They did like a Call of Duty figure. They do some American figures like Captain America. But majority of it is anime figures. And they usually do like 2 or 3 of an anime and call it good. Like 2 or 3 of the main characters and call it good. And so when they say 409, that's like number 409 of all Figmas, right? From all animes that they've produced. This is kind of it's not that old of a figure, but it's a few years old. So they're way past 409 now. Yeah, and like I was saying, I appreciate that Mezco and Figma do this, where you get a strong poly bag, write the name. Love that they do that. And then Figma also comes with a stand. And let me put you guys on like how to spot a fake Figma, because it's something that I've experienced. Like I was ordering a Figma Saitama from One Punch Man from a Figma Saitama from One Punch Man on eBay, and it was maybe too good of a price to be real. I kind of probably should have known and expected it, but when it arrived, right, it was a fake. And believe it or not, I was able to return it. I got my money back, so I didn't lose any money, but it was just a hassle, right? Then I was like, well, I still want Saitama, right? So I go back on eBay, find a completely different seller, and when it arrives, it's still a fake. I got faked out 2 times by Saitama. That's my only experience with fake Figmas. It's just been with Saitama. But I have seen, other KOs. Like some eBay sellers will be up front and say this is a KO Figma. And I have seen KO of Kirito. I've seen a KO Asuna. I've seen and KO's knockoff, right? Knockoff of there are other Figmas, And then I started doing some research of how can I tell by looking at a Figma on eBay, how can I tell, just to be safe, what's fake and what's not. So something you can do is a big tell sign is if you look at the plastic stand, all the fakes I've ever seen, even the Saitamas that I had, they won't say Figma. So I don't know if you can kind of see where it says it's like clear, so it's a little bit harder to see, but I'll rotate it a little bit. It says Figma right there, and it's like embossed, so it's kind of bumpy. The fakes do not have that Figma, probably for some legal reason, for them not to get in trouble. That is like the number one sign of how to tell fake Figma if it does not say Figma on the stand. Because believe it or not, I've seen boxes where it does say Figma. So on the actual box of knockoffs, they're allowed to get away with that. I don't know how, but for some reason on the stands, they can't put it. I'm not sure why or what's up with that, but that's just one way to catch a Figma fake. Another way is just to look at the paint apps. Like if you're looking at a picture and you can see the paint apps, Figma's paint apps, I don't think I've ever had QC issues with paint apps on Figma's. It's just unheard of. So if you see a little bit sloppy paint where paint's off center or the line's not crisp and it's a little fuzzy, that is most likely a fake. I think those are the two biggest signs. And another sign too, this one's harder because you can only test it when you actually have a Figma in hand. They are just loose. Like I seen somebody play with a fake Figma, the arms, the legs, the head, like you touch it and it just falls apart, right? So that one is like to test if you can actually physically hold it. But the other two, will help you identify a fake Figma just through pictures, right? All right, so let's go over accessories. So you get this little nice rack. All Figmas come with this little rack to hold your hands, which I do appreciate. It just keeps things organized and helps with breakage. So you get 2, 4, 6, 7 extra hands. This additional piece to go on the flight stand to make just an extension, another angle. You get this bag, side purse with her, and then she comes with a gun. And these girls, their costumes are based kind of like off of Navy ships, right? So in the anime, like Navy ships kind of go and they're sold like they get taken over by Navy, like famous Navy ships, and they fight, right? So there's a look at the Figma, and yeah, you can just see the detail, right? Like even if you're not into anime, even if you're just into toys, you can appreciate when you touch one of these figures, when you play with these figures, and you see the detail and just the feel and the way it moves. You can appreciate these figures. And then the last accessories, I think what always is fun with these anime figures is you get extra faceplates. You get a surprise faceplate and kind of a sad faceplate to go along, just with her normal happy faceplate. So I think a really awesome figure by Figma. Can't wait to get some more. All right, guys. We opened tons of figures today, but now it's time to crown a champion of the night. Which is the best figure we opened tonight? Let's get everybody stacked up. I think we have a good variety here, right? Like I tried to get as many toy lines as I could to kind of show just a good competition, I won't always be able to do that just because I won't always have this good a variety, But I hope to do this every week. I'm going to aim for every Tuesday around this time, 7 o'clock, 7:30. So be sure to check back next week at next Tuesday at 7 or 7:30 around that time. I should be back online doing another live, opening up more toys. Let's see, this Mezco is not standing. We opened up quite a few today. No! Doesn't that always happen, right? What else would you expect besides tumbling action figures? Okay. And you know, with the Ninja Spawn figure, I'm just gonna base it. Well, it's hard to say. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna base it on the Ninja Spawn figure itself. I'm not gonna include the fact that it came with a Todd McFarlane signature, just because I actually am really hyped about that signature, and it's just unfair because it's not about the figure, right? That's just because it's a Todd McFarlane signature. So yeah, we have McFarlane here, Diamond Select represented, Mezco, G.I. Joe Classified, Figma, Spiro Toys Animal Wars of the Kingdom, NECA, McFarlane, Lightning Collection, and McFarlane DC Multiverse. Yep. Let's get to it. Okay. The worst figure we opened tonight. And remember, I'm factoring in paint, sculpt, detail, and price point. Retail price point, right? Not what I paid for it. The worst figure we opened today is going to have to be this heat wave. I do like the sculpt of this heat wave, but the fact that it came with zero accessories, absolutely zero accessories, and especially when, even if it doesn't come with accessories, I'm fine with it if it's a figure that maybe shouldn't really have accessories. But the fact that this came with no accessories and he's heat wave and should have came with some heat, some flame effects, that's why this guy's the worst figure we opened tonight. Next up is going to be it's going to be this Lightning Collection figure. Because if you bought this at retail for $25, yes, it comes with good accessories, but it's just kind of a lackluster figure because of the black nature of it. It's nothing too exciting, right? It's just a Lightning Collection figure. Next up, we are gonna go with next up we're gonna go. Yeah, we're gonna go with this Uncle Iroh. I do think it's a good figure in the Diamond Select Avatar line, but it's lacking in a little bit of articulation, and I think it's lacking in the face paint area. I think the sculpt's there, but it's a little bit too smooth. There should be some shading added to it. But it kind of came with some really good accessories. Came with that teapot, right? The next figure that's going to be out is let's see. I'm gonna go with this Static Shock. I like this figure, but I'm not a big fan of the overall costume design. So that's not Todd's fault, but just I wish we would. Hopefully, we'll get a different Static Shock in the future. Next up, we are gonna go with the Mezco. Yes, the import. Well, not the import. The high end figure Mezco, because I think a lack of accessories for an $80 figure, and the abomination that is the single jointed elbows and knees. For that reason, Mezco Catwoman is out. All right. Next up, we are going to go with I think we're going to go with this Figma, right? It is a higher end figure, and so I can't remember what I paid for it, but it is a higher end figure. And I think if you're into anime, then it's going to be a nice pick for you, but it's not it's for me personally, it's not even one of the best Figma figures that I've opened. For that reason, it's out. But it is still a good figure. Next up, okay. Next up, we are gonna kick out this. Let's see. This one's tough. I think we're gonna go with this one, the Outback. One, because it is just a repaint, right? And for $25, I do think it's a good value, but I don't think it's better than these figures in terms of sculpt, because it's kind of bare in the sculpt. I do appreciate that red hair though on the forearms. I think that's a great detail. Okay, guys, our top 5. We're almost done here. Top 5 figures of the night. Next up, I think we're going to kick out General Thane. I do love this figure, but I think the price point is a little high. Yes, it's an independent toy company, but if you think to like the General Zod, not the General Zod, sorry, I keep saying General Zod, the Gorilla Grodd, right? The Gorilla Grodd from this Flash line with the orange suit. It's about the same size. That one retails for 40 and is even on clearance for like 30 right now. So for this to be $50, it's an amazing figure, and I understand it's from an independent toy company. So of course they have to charge higher, but yeah, it's just not better than these figures. So General Thane is out. All right, our top 4. Next up is going to be this figure, just because it retails for $25. It is an army builder, but it came with no weapons. It only came with 4 extra hands. It has no paint, but of course we know that because it is an army builder. But with these figures coming at or a little bit over the same price point and coming with way more accessories, the Chinari figure is out. Top 3 figures. The next figure to go is going to be the Flash. I think this Flash figure has really good details on the suit. The suit is covered with textures and extra sculpt, but it is lacking maybe a little bit of wash or a little bit of paint. And I don't like that, even from the source material we got the comic book, it should have came with a clear visor where we could see the eyes and a face sculpt underneath. I think that's a big flaw with this figure, so for that reason, this Flash is out. And our top 2 figures, we have a showdown between NECA and McFarlane. And I'm going to have to kick out the Ninja Spawn figure. I think this has phenomenal detail, phenomenal sculpt. One thing, though, is I do like the mass release head sculpt better. And with this being a Target exclusive, it might be a little bit harder to find. But it has a lot of washes and a lot of paint, a lot of different textures. I think Todd did a phenomenal job with this. It's such a unique sculpt, such a unique toy. He goes all out with his Spawn figures. So second place there. And our winner for tonight is going to be the Alpha Predator. I thought opening this figure up was such a fun experience. For it to come with, this poster that has the artwork of the Alpha Predator on it. And on the back of it, having kind of like a historical representation for, us toy collectors of all 100 Predators. It was just a great experience to open that. And the uniqueness of this Predator, I think, really attracted me. The sculpt and aesthetic of it. I have several Predator figures, but, from Predator 1, from Predator 2 to Predator 3, the Predator figures have a lot of similarities. And there is differences, but they're all very similar. And so it makes me not, want to buy another Predator figure because I kind of have it. But with this one, I had to get this Predator figure because of how unique it is. And on top of that, the iridescent paint that they did on this figure, the pink and blue, I don't know if you guys can see how well you guys can see it, how well it's showing up, but the pink and blue iridescent paint on this figure, on the skin and the dreadlocks, is phenomenal. It must have cost some extra money, to do this iridescent paint job. Came with loads of accessories, and for that reason, this NECA Alpha Predator is the best figure we opened tonight. All right, that's going to do it for us, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to check out our weekly video where we talk about all upcoming releases. Go give that a like. And also, stay tuned because we have details of how to enter a giveaway that we're doing. We're giving away a Black Series or Vintage Collection figure that you guys can win. Just go ahead and watch our weekly videos. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back here next Tuesday, hope, at 7:30. Peace out, guys. Keep collecting, keep playing, and may the action figure gods smile upon you.